Are y'all ready for the true, unfiltered truth about the cost of microlocs? Today, I think it's important that we deep dive into this topic I think goes overlooked.
Everything they say, I understand. So I can speak the language.
What does it really cost to have microlocs? Whether you decide to DIY your microlocs or you decide to go get professional help through like a loctician or whatever the case may be, you thought it was just about time and effort, but it's also about commitment. Financial commitment. Let's just break down a few of the costs that may go into this. As most of you all know, the cost of things right now everywhere seems high. Everybody is trying to get that money right now and everybody wants as much of it as possible. I've even had people tell me that people are out here charging $2,000 to get their microlocs installed now. All right, so I just researched how much it is costing for microlocs in 2023. This is based off of what I found on StyleSeat, Instagram, and personal websites for salon owners, and it's looking like it's ranging between $500 to around $2,000 for microloc install. Now this may account for inflation. Also, that stylist might just be booked because they are so good at their craft that they're able to up their prices. Now on the flip side, if you're deciding to go ahead and DIY your locks, which is what I decided to do, this was not a $2,000 investment at all. It just took a lot of time, which is also to me a cost that I had to pay. No, I didn't pay money, but I did have to pay with my time and my effort in installing my microlocs. So it is something to consider, but if you think it is worth it, go for it. Maintenance is a huge part of your microloc journey. It is not enough just to go get the install. I know a lot of y'all out there want to just get the install and you think that's it, but this is a common misconception, and one of the costs that I think often goes overlooked is the upkeep, which includes interlocking or retying, retwisting, whatever it is you decide to do. From what I've been seeing, reties can go from about $120 to about $200. It may go higher than that because, like I said, you got to think about the economy we're in right now. It's 2023. Things are a bit higher than what they were last year. That is if you are going to a loctician. I can't guarantee what prices you're really going to get quoted whenever you ask whoever is doing your hair or your loctician what their prices are. But like for people with regular locks, I think it's a lot cheaper. My brother told me he was able to get his hair retwisted for just $100 or $60 or something like that. And I was just thinking these prices that he was talking about would never fly with microlocs, because you do have to also realize that the more time someone is going to put into your hair, it's going to probably cost more. He also has way less locks than me. Another thing to consider is that you may also have to pay in time and effort trying to find somebody to even do your microloc reties. I have seen it time and time again. People were out here installing microlocs on people's heads, and when it was time for them to actually get that maintenance and it was time to get those reties after 6-8 weeks, whatever the case may be, it was crickets. They could not find anyone in their region or their city to retie their hair, and they may have even had to outsource or fly out in order to get the maintenance done on their microlocs. This can be extremely frustrating considering the time and effort that you already put into getting your install done, just to find out that there is not someone in your area that is willing to even help you keep up your investment. What I would recommend to combat this is if you're going to get microlocs installed and you're not going to be DIYing your upkeep yourself, I would recommend that you find somebody before you get the install so you have somebody set in mind. Or maybe you can get the all-in-one package where you have the loctician who installed it and they're able to do the maintenance. Because what I've also found is that a lot of locticians are not willing to do maintenance on microlocs that they did not install. Yes, you heard it right. I can't tell you the reason why each person does this, but from what I've seen, a lot of people don't want to go work after somebody's work. So if you have microlocs that weren't installed properly, or you're having slippage and all these other issues because of a poor install, you may have a problem finding someone who wants to even take you on as a client because you already are coming with issues. We hope this isn't the case, but be sure to vet whoever is going to install your locks first so you don't have that sort of issue. And then, like I said, be sure to find somebody to help you with that maintenance after the install. I noticed a lot of the really good locticians, they're already fully booked like for months out. That is something that I have noticed is a very common thing, which is another reason why I feel like people have to travel, because maybe they're just not able to get on anybody's list as far as being a client. Another thing that I noticed is that a lot of people were installing people's microlocs, and I don't necessarily think that they knew how to do the upkeep. Maybe they did or maybe they didn't, but those same people were not willing to actually do reties for the clients that they installed the locks on. Now, on my side of the court, maintenance, if you have DIY microlocs, is also a cost, because again, it's a cost that I am paying with me actually interlocking my hair myself, my time and my effort. It is going to take a while for you to interlock your hair, especially if this is your first time. Even if it's not your first time, it is going to take some time to do. That is a cost that is not talked about very often. There are plenty of times where I simply just don't feel like it. I just don't want to. I'm tired. Maybe I'm busy, maybe I wanted to go do something else, but it is time to get that maintenance done. This is a cost that I am willing to take on because I save so much money over time doing it myself, and I can do it whenever I feel like doing it. I don't have to reach out to somebody and get on their schedule, on their books, and it's just convenient. I also feel like I have a lot more faith in myself personally, but that's just me. Now, I do think that there's a lot of pros to someone else doing your locks, which is like, if they're doing your locks, they are generally going to move a lot faster than you would interlocking your own hair. However, on the flip side, it's the convenience you get of saving money and doing it yourself that comes along with doing it at your house. Next thing I want to talk about is time invested. Now, we all know that time is precious, and when you have microlocs, time is involved so heavily it doesn't even make sense. Now, I want to talk about why time is such a big deal when it comes to microlocs, because it is not just a style that you can just completely do no maintenance on. It's low maintenance, but not no maintenance. I personally take the time to like mist my hair in the mornings and make sure it's healthy. I also make sure that I wash it thoroughly to make sure there's no debris left in my hair. If you're gonna have somebody else do your hair, that's something else you may have to think about. The time it may take you to actually commute to wherever they are, because they may or may not be that close. I know people are out here catching flights to go get their hair retied. There's a lot of things to consider. What type of lifestyle do you live? Are you a very busy person? Are you a mom? Do you have older parents you need to take care of? There are a lot of things to consider when it comes to time and your hairstyle. This may also be something you may need to consider about how you do the upkeep of your hair. Like if you're at the gym a lot, it probably wouldn't be the best idea to get your hair retied because it's going to unravel. Like there is a lot of things to consider, and you'll just have to really be honest and say, is it worth the time for the investment? If the answer is yes for you, then do whatever is in your best interest. Next thing I really want to talk about that I feel is very much overlooked is stress and the emotional cost that you may pay if you have microlocs. I can tell you from personal experience, stress can creep up on you in your microloc journey at any point. That's for any of us, because life is still going on no matter what, and your hair is still growing. Now, some examples of this would be like if you are facing a financial burden, or maybe you had a passing in your family, so then you're going through something emotional. It had to happen to me when my daddy passed away. You may be stressed about the complexity of the maintenance of your microlocs. And another one a lot of people face is the pressure to have perfect locks. For all the different things that I named and then the things I didn't name, it is crucial to understand and recognize how to move past these things, how to cope with the stress whenever it arises. I know a lot of people deal with the stress of like seeing other people's lock journeys and then them saying, my locks aren't like that person's locks, or they had an expectation that wasn't fulfilled in their own lock journey, and that can be very disheartening and maybe discouraging to that person. I think your microloc journey can be a very beautiful thing, but it's also very important to consider how you will deal with any of these things if they do arise. Lastly, I want to talk about repairs. Again, there is cost associated with repairs, no matter if you're going to have a loctician handle it or if you're going to do it yourself. If you do it yourself, you're going to pay with that time, and if you have a loctician or someone else do it, you're going to pay with that money unless you got a friend. Issues that you may face along your microloc journey that a lot of people may not think about and consider are thinning, holes in your locks, and breakage. All of these things are not free. I know for a lot of people, when they get holes in their locks and they have to go have someone repair it, that can cost hundreds of dollars. Even if you have thinning locks that needs repairs, that can cost hundreds of dollars. So it's just something you want to consider when you're making this investment, because you want your investment to be a good one and you want the health of your hair to remain the best it can possibly be. If you're not going to have a loctician do it, you may have to go to YouTube University and try to figure a way to do it yourself. However, if you don't have confidence, I definitely recommend you seek the help of a professional so you don't make your situation worse. But if you're feeling froggy, I say then leap. I feel like I'm in a situation that I just have to kind of leap because I'm DIYing my whole journey, so I just kind of roll with the punches. The best thing to take away from this video is it's not just about the dollars and cents, y'all. Your microloc journey encompasses a whole lot more than just money. You will need to invest your time, your emotional well-being, and a whole lot more into this journey for it to be successful. I hope I was able to shed some light on these topics that I feel may go unnoticed. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the love and support at all times. Remember, you are not on this journey alone. I have plenty of microloc content. In fact, I'll list a whole microloc playlist after this video. And until next time, thank you for watching. Bye bye.